The cabinet shuffle did little to help the CAQ government, and now the cracks are starting to show. And can the Premier survive this? David Heurtel joins us. Hi, David. So, David, the stress on the CAQ is clear. There are more grumblings, more criticism. One MNA left the caucus today. Another, François Bonnardel just didn't show up for the caucus meeting. Can the Premier survive this, do you think?
No, we can't. I mean, the last gasp was the cabinet shuffle and also his testimony before the Galland Commission, where he went there basically to try to save any shred of credibility for his government. And the people have spoken in the latest Léger poll. 70% of respondents, Mitsumi, saying they're not satisfied with this government. He is in the low teens in terms of an election. And so there's just nothing to grasp at. And now it's three former CAQ members of the National Assembly who are now sitting as independents, two former cabinet ministers. And I get the feeling that over the next few weeks and months, you are going to see more CAQ members announcing that they're not going to run again. So you're going to have this torturous drip of people saying they're leaving the ship. And more bad news coming down the road. You're going to have the Galland report. You're going to have an Auditor General's report on Northvolt, the whole battery mess in Quebec. You still have problems with the economy. Healthcare is not turning around. You still have 5,000 people missing in the education system. So there's really nothing. So it's a battle between him and his ego, Mitsumi. And unless you have either very popular, very well-known Quebec Inc. people, like Charles Sirois or somebody like Christian Dubé coming out and saying, look, François, it's time to move on. I'm afraid he's gonna do on his own and just try to salvage anything because it's his party. There's no doubt about it.
But Maïté Blanchette-Vézina, she's a former minister who left the caucus today. Can we compare this to what Chrystia Freeland did that sort of forced Justin Trudeau to leave, do you think?
I don't think so, because I mean, Maïté Blanchette-Vézina was a minor minister. She doesn't have anywhere near the gravitas and the importance that Chrystia Freeland had in the Trudeau government. I mean, we're talking about the finance minister. Maïté Blanchette-Vézina isn't that level of senior minister. I mean, to compare it, again, we would have to see somebody like Éric Girard or Christian Dubé. That would be a Chrystia Freeland level extinction event. We're not there, but what you can see is that definitely in the caucus there are problems, and what the big risk also, will Blanchette-Vézina or maybe Pierre Dufour from Abitibi-Témiscamingue, who was kicked out of the caucus a few weeks ago, could they cross to another party? Could they go to Éric Duhem? We saw it before with Claire Sanson way back when, and maybe Pierre Dufour. There have been some rumors that he could go with the Liberals. So that also could be a concern. And who knows? There's a lot of unhappy people in the CAQ caucus because they weren't named ministers and they believe they should have been. And also they know they're going to be looking for a job a year from now.
Yeah, plus there's over 80 of them. It's hard to sort of keep more than 80 people happy. But very quickly,
especially now,
the PQ is still doing well in the polls.
Yeah.
But you think that the support for them might not be that solid, especially if it sticks to the sovereignty option.
It's not. More and more, as close as we're going to get to the election, Mitsumi, more it's going to be about the referendum for Paul Saint-Pierre Plamondon. He's going to stick to his game plan that got him there. Remember, about 30% of the PQ support is Federalist. All the polls have shown this. So it's up to Pablo Rodriguez to be able to establish himself, which he hasn't done yet, to establish himself as a credible option on kitchen table issues. But Paul Saint-Pierre Plamondon, as closer as we get to the election, he's going to have to talk about healthcare, the economy, education, kitchen table issues, and the referendum for people. They don't want him. Remember, the Léger said 63% of Quebecers are against independence.
Okay. Thank you very much for this, David.
Thank you, Mitsumi.